Fellow bass fanatics, how are you? As you can see, I'm in the home place. His lordship is with me, keeping an eye on things. It's turned into a busy morning. I think the last of the medium heavy black swans is gone. I might have one left, but anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about a few things. I got in a huge amount of stuff. Now I have to go back to Cork and continue treatment, so I won't. There's no point in me launching a site while I'm getting treatment. It's just too much stress for me, and I won't be able to get stuff to people on time, and you know, I want things to be just so. Sorry, I'm going to turn off that heater because I'm absolutely roasted here. The dog loves it. Oh. Give me 1 second. I wouldn't get a job in Hollywood anyway. But, so, a few things I want to show you this morning. That there is the Mad Slug from Madness 150. Absolutely gorgeous. Hard as nails. Will take dog's abuse, right? That's on the Texas Eelhead. I think it's a trio there or whatever. It's going to need a touch of super glue. I don't glue them down when I'm demonstrating them or whatever. But that's going to be an absolute fish slayer. Absolutely. Now, here's my favourite of them all. I took a risk. Look at this fella. Look at the joints in that fella. I'd say the action on this guy, it's like a crossover between a stick bait and a paddle tail, right? And you can see it has a bit of girth to it. It's got a bit of weight. That's 13 grams. That's going to fly, right? Especially if you put it on. I have the Mutzer, whatever they're called, the decoy weighted hooks. I also have BKKs, which you can weight yourself. Get onto Temu and buy in a spool of lead or whatever. Andy Kelly actually, who just left here, an absolute gentleman. We were talking bass fishing the last hour, and very accomplished angler, and a great trick. He said, you know, when you wind the lead onto the hook, give it a slight pinch with the pliers, because it's not round anymore, if you get me, and then a touch of glue and it'll stay put, so it won't spin on you, right? But that there is the Fantasstick from Raid, right? That's the 5.8 or whatever, and there's the 4.5. Now look at the colour of that. Have you ever seen anything that look more like a small baby pollock? I mean, the bass are just going to absolutely hammer that fella, right? I'll have them in white as well. I just wanted to get them in to get my hands on them. Now, this is a 5.8 inch, right? So for 5 baits, it's going to cost you €20, which is not unreasonable amount of money, especially for a bait that is that well made. I mean, that thing is just going to fly on the right rod with the right hook. On a winner. I'm delighted with it. I just cannot wait to put it over a few fish. I bought in one of their little shads for a bit of river fishing and what have you, and I just thought, Jesus Christ, why have I not heard of this company before? And then I was perusing the Ultimate Fishing catalogue as you do, and I saw these fellas and I thought they're a winner, right? So those I wanted to show you, and I wanted to show you the Mad Eel 150s, and I think they're about €16 or something. I don't know, I'd have to look up the price. But you get, how many baits do you get in a packet? You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6 baits in a packet, which is reasonable, right? And if you remember, I don't know if somebody fished Madness years ago, the mother worm and stuff, it was wicked soft, like, it was great lure, but 2 fish and it was done, you know. Those are definitely not going to be like that, right? And, you know, you're going to be able to team them up with stuff like that coyote head, or you're going to be able to team them up, which would be my preference, which weedless, fishing weedless. Now, what I have managed to get my hands on is Giant X Layers in IU, an absolute classic. I've caught more bass on that lure than any other lure in the world, right? Superb. Absolutely superb, and I have it in a nice range of colours, so all good news, all good news. There's the BKKs, right, the Titan Riders I got, really nice hook, really powerful, really strong. You stick that in a bass, you're not going to lose them, or if you do lose them, it's your fault. Tide Minnow Slim 175 will be on sale the day the shop opens. So if you like big lures that fish just under the surface, keep your ear to the ground for the day I decide to launch, right? Here's the thing of absolute beauty now. Probably my favourite hard lure of all time. It's now called the Cookeye Slim 140F from Megabass, but it is, for in all intensive purposes, it's the X140. I mean, it is just beautiful. What a lure, right? That joke is going to absolutely fly out there. A couple of pulls and every bass around the place. Now, I don't know yet how it will respond to singles, but once I get a chance to put some of the BKKs on one and give it a fish, I will let you know, because I really am going to try and fish as many singles as I can. I think I'll be doing a lot of boat fishing this year, just given my health, really, to be honest with you, because I'm not going to be able to trek up and down the shore day after day. So those are a few of the things that have come in that are of note. Other products that are going to be on sale, the Mad Eel 140, right? Be of interest to the boat fishermen, but shore fishermen as well, if we're fishing the beach, right? On either the Texas Power Head or the Texas Eel Head, right? 20 grams and a 9.5 foot rod, and you launch that into the surf. The bass will certainly know it's there. That's in French Wakazarji, and this one is in Anguilla, right? I like it because it's got a black back and a golden body. It looks very like a pollock, right? So I'd be creeping up along some of the deeper water marks where the bass were hanging last year, because it was too warm inside for them to come in, so they were staying out. They were staying out deep, and we did well. Some more favourites as well, right? Sorry, no light. Feed Shallow Plus, right? You know, all sorts of colours catch anglers. White tends to catch bass. You know, And that's the truth. I have great confidence in white or chartreuse or you know, natural colours like this colour, which is the 500G, right? Great imitation of a sand eel, right? And then on other days, you know, they want something that looks like nothing, you know, just something that if you're fishing deep water, that's the 5-inch 1-up shad. Hard to beat, really, to be honest with you. Oh, hang on, yeah. I knew there was some trick I was missing. You see, I had to move out of the kitchen because the old fella was wanting to have his breakfast or whatever, so I don't know if I bring them with me. But I have the Realis pencil poppers, or the Realis pencil bills. No, I didn't bring them with me. Jeez, that's a pity. Did I put them in there? There's the boxes for them. Look at the lure. Oh, right, I don't have them. No, God only knows where they are. But we'll show you them another day. Anyway, here's another lure I have. The Sayori shad from Ultimate Biomax. Often copied, never equaled. Savage. Absolutely savage lure. I saw Richard Cake taking enormous fish on one of those, just dragging it along the bottom on a football jig head. And he said to me, I'm snagged. And then the bottom started to head out to sea. I said, you're snagged? All right. You're snagged into one hell of a bass. The rod flattened. And eventually I got the bass on the shore. It was over 11 pounds. The photo is actually going to be on the website. An incredible fish. Other exciting news. New version of the feed popper coming out. And the Z claws are on the way, as are the custom bags. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. I've never had as many fishing lures in all my life. You see, everything I buy in, I refuse to sell stuff I haven't fished, right? Now with the Realis pencil, I know it's a banker. I mean, it's just an incredible lure. Like there's the 110, the 130, and I fish an estuary mark, and so you have a channel and you have a sandbank, right? And the tide empties out and you can see the sand starts to expose, right? And then you get this backwater riffle, right? And what it has done is it has dug out a hole. The tide has dug out a hole, right? So what the bass do is when the tide pushes back, right? So I know when I see the sand is starting to expose, I start fishing in that spot because I know that the big bass will come back, drop back, and they'll sit in the hole because eventually the bait has to come off the bar, right? So they just sit right down and they look up and they're waiting for stuff to come overhead. And I had that 130 popper. I cast it into the sandy, turbulent water, and this fish absolutely leathered it. I mean, the fish came clean out of the water with the lure in its mouth, and I knew I should have a proper fish on here. And anyway, great scrap of the fish. Treated the fish with the utmost respect. Unhooked it in the water, managed to get a nice photo, and keep it wet and aerated and all the rest of it, and off it swam, right? And then I got very sick, and I used to just go to Saline to walk the dog, and I was walking, I put up the picture on YouTube just to show you. I was walking the dog one day, and there I saw the carcass, just the head and the bones of a fish, 77, 78 centimeters, something like that. So somebody had caught it and killed it. Now, why would you do that? The mind boggles. Like, I like to eat bass, right? Make no secret of that. The only bass that taste nice are 3 or 4 pounds. Right? Other than that, they're either too small or they're too big. And a 70-something centimetre bass would just be like cotton wool. The thing is 25, 30 years old, right? And some fella is just sitting it off and selling it into the Chinese takeaway or wherever else they're selling it. Absolutely just blows my mind, you know. I honestly, I think we should have a license. If we introduced a license for shore fishing, we'd be able to put more boots on the ground to protect the fishery. That's the truth of it. But some interesting stuff like has come up. You know, like last year was very poor, you could say, except for early and late, right? But that was only from the shore. If you were fishing from the boat, it was an exceptional year, right? Because the bass stayed 2 miles offshore, right, on the outer reefs, right? Because the temperature has gone up a degree and a half, in some places 2 degrees, right? Bass don't want to be in that water. It's too warm for them. They don't like it, you know. It's like before 2004, nobody knew what gilt-head bream were. We never caught them. And the next thing you know, the Mano estuary was heaving with these gilt-head bream, you know. You go to the back strand there, and it's full of immature bream. Absolutely. And are the bass taking them? You bet your bottom dollar they are. I was talking to, I love talking to John, Longshore John. John is nearly 70, or he is 70, and he's still fishing, fair play to him. He's still shore fishing. And he's a wealth of information, and he's fishing salmo sliders at the mouth of the estuary to imitate the bream. And when you look at them, they're perfect. They're just the right shape, profile, you name it. Right? So I think he's going to have great success. Personally, I'm going to look at the sleeper gill range and see if we can get one. I haven't had the time. A kind of a silvery one. If we could get a silvery one, that would cast. It would be awesome. The other thing I have, an absolute mountain of. This is, I brought the wrong box up. See, this is what happens. But I got in a bunch of dark sleepers. I have a little 2.4-inch dark sleeper, I'd say, is going to absolutely, on the light little 7.5 foot 10-reel rod, a murder bass for me in the mud. I just tip it along the bottom. Dunk, 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 dunk. You know, because it's designed, a very clever design, that slight upturn in the nose just lets it bounce from rock to rock to rock, you know, so you don't hook up too many, you don't lose too many of them, and they're not huge money. If you lose one or two, you're not going to be crying. You know, I fell over the other day and I broke a favourite rod in 3 pieces. You know, that's life, that's fishing, right? You know, I'm more worried about my ribs than I am about the rod, to be honest with you. In fact, to be really honest with you, I'm more worried about my balance, that I have a touch of vertigo, because I have constant tinnitus. Yeah, you know what. But look, I don't want this YouTube platform to become a kind of a it's Pat Galler selling gear or whatever. Yeah, well, I am selling gear, and it is a business, and it's a brave new world, big deal. Like, I lay in the bed sick for 2 years, and I thought to myself, I don't want to sit behind a computer screen for the rest of my life, figuring out unemployment statistics. I don't. You know, I started this business on a shoestring, right? So I'm not a threat to anybody. I'm just doing my thing. You know, I know what I know. I know what I'm good at, right? You know, and what I'm good at is catching bass, right? Like, and it's not rocket science. Like, why I'm good at it is because I've done a lot of it. Like, it's not some, like, I wasn't born with this inherent fishing gene or something. You know, it was I showed up to spots. I got to there and I thought, okay, this looks like it might hold some fish. Does it fish over the high water? Does it fish on the half water? Does it fish on the low water? Does it fish on the flood? Does it fish on the ebb? You know, I fished in different spots and at different times, and tide and different lunar cycles and night and day and all the rest of it. And over 20 years, I amassed a lot of information, you know, and that's what you're paying for, along with the knowledge of the gear and what you need and don't need, you know, because what you don't need is just as important as what you do need, because you could end up with boxes full of stuff that you just do not need, right? I'm just looking in this box. I want to show you one thing. I don't know if I've shown you these, but if there are trout or sea trout fishermen around, look at that thing. I'll show you the depth of the body, right? So it's the Spearhead Ryuki 50S. Now, anybody who's done any sea trout fishing will tell you that they're the most frustrating fish in the world, right? You get that many follows. Look at the depth of the body on that fella, right? On the 4 to 24 gram and the orange belly. Lovely. Gold, orange. Oh, absolutely murder trout. Bury the rod tip into the ground and whack it back and lure stop. Stop the lure. Stop it dead. You know, teaser fly can be helpful sometimes. Other times, not. You don't need it. You know, I've had them on tide minnow 120s, you know. I mean, some sea trout get big, 7 8 pounds. They're a ferocious predator, right? So the next fish on the menu, so, you know, so I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be doing some pike, hopefully. And I'm going to be doing some brown trout fishing up around Cavan and that with my great friend Gabby, Mr. Pike. If you're looking for a day's pike fishing or a day's trout fishing with lures, Mr. Pike, get on to him. He's an absolute legend. He's such a nice fella. He's a Romanian chap. He has a lovely boat. I mean, he just absolutely, the boat is called Refuse to Blank. What a great name for a boat, like, you know. And he literally is like that. He refuses to blank, right? So give him a shout if that's your thing. I'm certainly going back up to him. Anything else there now? I've shown you everything. Yeah, I have. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to be bombarding you with tackle and all the rest of it. So that's where we are. I have an absolute world of stuff. I have enough now for a decent site, right? I'm not selling. I won't sell any IMA. I'm not going to sell any IMA. Not going to sell fish. Not going to sell salvage gear. There's a few things I'm not going to sell. You know, I'm going to stick with Tailwalk, Ultimate, and hopefully some other brands as well. We're just negotiating that at the minute. So either way, it will have a nice range of products that will get you out there fishing. Congratulations again to Jack Devereaux, who's dropping down today to pick up his Western and a few bits of lures and stuff. I'm looking forward to meeting him. He's part of the Kilmore Key lifeboat crew, and we owe them a debt of gratitude, because whilst I've never needed the lifeboat, it is very nice to know that they are there, right? So that's it for today, folks. I just wanted to show you a few products. I mean, look, there's a hell of a lot of soft plastics, you know, but everybody fishing soft plastics. I have got some hard lures. I absolutely do, because you need them, right? I hope to get my hands on the Lucky Craft Sea Finger. I have the Sand Lance from Duo, the sinking one. You know, I like to have a sinking hard lure, especially when I'm fishing the beach. You know, I like to have something that I know I can cast and let it drop down to the bottom and fish it back up through the water columns, right? I'm trying to think of anything else. No, that's about it, right? So I'm going to spend the day now getting presents for the kids and everything. I'm going to Dublin tomorrow to my brother's for Christmas, so I won't be YouTubing tomorrow. So I wish everybody a happy Christmas, and thanks for all your support. It means the world. It's been a tough couple of years, I have to be honest. It has not been easy, but we are really getting there. Things are finally improving, thank God. So in the meantime, tight lines. I hope you get out there fishing and get up the river after pike or perch or whatever you want. Yeah, that's it. We'll leave her there for today. That's all she wrote, as the man says. The dog is asleep here. He probably wants feeding. So, okay, chaps. We'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, keep her lit.